Right, 6:35. Should we start now? We have 53 people, and I think some are still on the way. And Camino. I guess we can start now. Okay. Okay, everyone can see my screen, right? Good. Hola. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Dia de Muertos 2021 Stories from Coco, a collaboration between Dime Porque and Institutos Nebrija Asia. I'm Primarita, Community Manager of Dime Porque and your host for tonight. I'm really happy to be here because this is our third year celebrating Dia de Muertos, or Day of the Dead. And I see that, you know, all this background and makeup are actually hiding our faces, but I hope we're not too scary right now. Tonight, I'm especially excited because thanks to Institutos Nebrija Asia, we have 3 different countries in the audience. So shout out to my fellow Indonesians and also some new friends from Singapore and Malaysia. Welcome, guys.
Hey.
Yay.
Welcome.
So we have an interesting show tonight. Lulu has put together a very interesting presentation about our favorite movie, Coco. And on top of that, tonight is actually your chance to win our limited edition packs, which have all kinds of cool merchandise from Dime Porque and Nebrija, including a 10% discount voucher for their amazing courses. So if you want to know how to win them, right. So there's not 1, not 2, but 3 ways in which you can get these prizes. You can participate in all 3 of them, but of course, to be fair, you can only win once. The first one is by winning the quiz that we will have after the presentation with Professor Lulu. And the second one is the best camera face. So you have prepared your makeup, costumes, or virtual backgrounds. You need to show your best pose. And, you know, tonight, Lulu and I, we are going to be like Heidi Klum and Tyra Banks and judging everyone. And the last one, of course, is the Insta story competition as usual, which if you are watching us from YouTube, hola, you can also join this competition. So throughout this session, you can post as much as you like, and we will pick the best story tomorrow. Yoshi, maybe you can help me write down the Instagram handles and the hashtag for the Insta story competition. All right. Oh, unfortunately, we are still trying to figure out international shipping. So if you win the games and you're in Singapore or Malaysia, Nebrija will instead invite you to their student exclusive event in the coming months. All right. All right, so very, very quickly, because we have new and old friends here, I would like to reintroduce our community, Dime Porque, just in case you don't know us yet. So bear with me. So we are a community of Spanish language learners and Hispanic culture enthusiasts. We started about 3.5 years ago in Jakarta, and some of us actually met in Nebrija. And when we say we're interested in Hispanic cultures, that includes everything from music, like, for example, reggaeton or salsa, TV shows like telenovela or Money Heist or La Casa de Papel, which is ending really soon, and movies like Coco or Encanto that is coming soon from Disney as well, and also include art and literature like Frida Kahlo and Pablo Neruda, who are really famous, and of course, celebrations such as Dia de Muertos that we love so much. So what we do basically is organize fun local activities and international events around those, such as today that we're having right now. And before the pandemic, all of our events were offline in Jakarta. For example, we went to film festivals and museums, and we did some Spanish workshops and salsa class as well. We really missed that, but you know, being in lockdown actually was a blessing. Also, because we got really creative with so many Zoom events and other activities with different topics and guest speakers. And on top of that, because we're now able to invite everyone, not just from Jakarta, but all over Indonesia and other countries as well, our events are always such a huge hit, and it's been really amazing. So if any of you are interested in our past or future events or any other info or trivia related to Spanish or Hispanic cultures, you can find us on Instagram at dime.por.que. And if you haven't, you can follow us now by scanning this pretty QR code. All right. We are also online open chat. This is basically where our members discuss and share everything from Spanish learning materials, Latin music playlists, or even memes in Spanish, which we love so much. And many of our members are actually learning Spanish on their own, so kudos to them. And when they have questions about grammar or vocabulary, they can ask in the chat, and there are many people who will be happy to answer or help. Unfortunately, Line Open Chat is country-based, so this chat is available only if you have an Indonesian mobile number. All right. Bueno, I'm running out of breath. I'm not gonna talk anymore. I'm going to hand this over to my teacher, Alfonso Carnicero, who is the academic coordinator of Institutos Nebrija Asia, aka Bapak Kepala Sekolah kita. Hola, Alfonso.
Hola, hola. Hola, ¿qué tal, everybody? How are you? Welcome. Nice to see you guys. Okay, well, I am Alfonso Carnicero, coordinator of Instituto Nebrija Asia. Well, first of all, I apologize for not wearing makeup. I tried to, but the look was too creepy, so I had to quit. Okay, this has to be a fun meeting, not a horror experience. So, okay. Next thing. To start, I want you to answer one question. I need to know if any of you know a word in Spanish. Just one word, any word. Not our students, okay? People from probably dime por qué, like Leonardo. Leonardo, can you tell me a word in Spanish?
Yeah, buenos días.
Perfecto. Vale, estupendo. Okay, what about Claudea?
Iki tuh anu.
Claudea?
Iki anu kung asli.
One word in Spanish? Too shy. Oh? Okay. Anyway, the point is that probably most of you can speak some words in Spanish already. So how is it possible? Okay, you know, how you guys know some words in Spanish living so far from the Hispanic world, and how you are so interested in this kind of events and culture. Okay, siguiente, primarita. The point is that the Spanish language is the second most international language in the world, and its influence is growing, okay, day by day. As probably you know, Spanish is the second native language in the world with almost 500 million native speakers. It's the second language in the international communication. It's official language in 21 countries on 3 continents, and almost 22 million students are learning Spanish as a foreign language all over the world. Almost 600 million people speak Spanish all over the world. So it's a very, very, very influential language. The interesting and beautiful thing about this condition of the Spanish language is that provide us the chance to communicate with million people, so you can get a lot of friends all over the world, and also this language is a door to a very rich and amazing collection of cultures, Hispanic cultures. Okay, so next one, please. Well, is any of you watching La Casa de Papel? Any of you like Shakira's music, or do you like Mexican tacos or Spanish tapas? Do you know Leo Messi? Of course, you all know Latin cultural products. This is because platforms like Netflix or Disney or social media, of course, they are doing a great job connecting people and cultures around the world. And also because there are universities and schools and academic institutions promoting international cultural projects. For example, as Institutos Nebrija Asia, now and here, we are promoting Hispanic cultures and the teaching of the Spanish language in Southeast Asia. Siguiente. Okay, so let me share with you some information about us briefly. Institutos Nebrija Asia is a project of the Nebrija University of Madrid, Spain. Okay, according to many international and prestigious rankings, Nebrija University is among the first universities in Spain and Europe in terms of education quality, employment opportunities, international programs, inclusive policy, and especially, this is interesting for us, online education. Okay, if you check the website, you will know about us, okay? Siguiente. Okay, our project in Asia starts in Jakarta with a partnership with local university, London School of Public Relations, LSPR, in March 2018. Okay, we started with 1 teacher and 20 students. Some of them are here with us from Dime Por Qué community. They are great friends. They are still studying with us. They are also part of our work team, and that makes me feel very proud. So thank you, guys. In 2020, we started online courses and we could expand our activity to the whole country. Now, 2021, we are the first private Spanish school in Indonesia. And in just last 8 months, we had more than 600 enrollments in our courses. And we are working with a great team of international teachers. Things are changing for us, are improving actually. So, siguiente. Okay, our goal is to be able to offer our online courses also in other countries such as Malaysia and Singapore, so welcome. And we are working hard for it. What do we offer in our online courses? Okay, we offer all levels, language and communication courses with games, competitions, and high fun spirit in class. That's very important for us. But we want to also offer courses focused in cultural content as well. As I did before, the language is a door to culture, and Spanish language is the door to many diverse, rich, and interesting cultures. Today's event is an example. One of our teachers will share presentation on traditional Mexican culture, film culture, and we will have fun while learning. Okay, so siguiente. I know you are going to love this presentation, so I will finish my part here. I just want to insist, thank you very much, muchísimas gracias, welcome, and enjoy Coco, Día de Muertos with Profesora Lulu. So Lulu, bienvenida y adelante, muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias, Profe. Thank you so much, Alfonso. Now we finally get to the main event. I'm going to give my screen to Lulu. Let me stop sharing. So, wow, now I can see everyone. Hola, Lulu. ¿Estás lista? Are you ready?
Estoy muy lista, sí.
Vamos.
Muchas gracias, Primarita, y gracias, Alfonso. Hello, everyone. Hola, hola a todos. Well, first of all, I really want to thank everyone for being here and for having this interest and I want to say love or just excited to learn or know more about this day and the Mexican culture. So thank you very much. It makes me very proud and very excited to share with you this festivity, but also in a fun way, thanks to the beautiful movie Coco. So before I start with my presentation, I want a show of hands. I want you all to tell me who has seen the movie Coco here. Who has seen the movie? Okay, I see some hands. I see some hands. Okay, everybody, most everybody. Excellent. Excellent. I see that. Muy bien. Oh, very good. You're raising your Zoom hand. I love it. Okay. If you don't mind, would you mind muting yourselves? There's somebody that is. Primarita, could you help me mute everyone, por favor? Okay. Okay, so excellent. So I see that most of you, or I think almost all of you, have seen the movie Coco. So the movie, oh, I see here some messages. I have seen it too. I've seen it too. Yo, Mimi, excelente. Muy bien. So I want to, before I start the presentation, I want to share with you the experience of being in Mexico and having a movie that became so famous and so internationally known, but that was also really, really well made, right? There's obviously a lot of movies that talk about the culture of Mexico and the country of Mexico, but some of them don't get the information quite right. Well, Disney did a really good job with this one. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're going to run the movie. We're gonna go through the movie, like not scene by scene, but in the most important parts. And I'm gonna explain to you a little bit of what it means, okay? So here we go. I'm gonna share my screen now. Primarita, if you can tell me if it's visible, would be great.
Yes, looks great.
Excelente. Ok, chicos. Bueno, pues bienvenidos a este Día de Muertos 2021, Stories from Coco. Okay, so Coco is a story about Miguel, which is that little boy, and his family is celebrating Day of the Dead and his adventures during that day, okay? So I want to start by saying that Disney, when Disney has a movie, they always start with this introduction. This intro to Disney movies is the same in all of them. However, if you pay close attention, the music in the Coco movie is different. And why is it different? Because the movie of the song for the intro is played by a mariachi. So the mariachi band or mariachi music is very, very traditional in Mexico. It is very important, and we use it based in most occasions when we're celebrating. So if you have time and you want to see what is she talking about, you can go to YouTube and find any Disney intro of any movie, and it's gonna be like orchestra, very pretty. But then you go to intro for Coco movie, and it's mariachi, and it sounds beautiful, beautiful. So as a Mexican, when we went to the cinema and the movie starts, just by the intro of Disney, you start getting goosebumps because it feels very Mexican already with the music. All right, so this is a mariachi, okay? And Miguel meets a mariachi in the plaza of his town, and he starts telling him that he's in love with music. And the mariachi says, well, yeah, if you know about music, if you like music, you have to play. Okay, now the movie Coco's name. Originally, the name of the film was intended to be Dia de Muertos. But Disney, I think, didn't do the research very well yet, because the Mexican tradition cannot be trademarked. It is World Heritage. So intangible World Heritage. So they decided to name it Coco. There are many stories behind what Coco means. The most popular one is that when they were going to Mexico year after year during the Day of the Dead festivities, they encountered a lot of abuelitas, which is the grandmas, and a lot of them were named Socorro. Socorro in Spanish, the nickname we give them is Choco, but some of them call them Coco. So they liked the name and they decided to stick with it. So that is why the movie was named after all Coco and not Dia de Muertos. All right. After the Disney intro, where you can see the beautiful, Disney castle and the mariachis playing, the movie begins with a little bit of the story into the present day. And the way they did it is with Papel Picado. Papel Picado is this very traditional tissue paper. Well, tissue paper is available everywhere in the world. However, in Mexico, we cut it in certain ways to make it a decoration on the ceilings. Now, this is not just specific to Dia de Muertos. We can use this Papel Picado on the ceiling at any time. There are actually some plazas or some like downtowns of cities where they always have them. They're always showing. So they're just very traditional for decoration purposes. So the history of Mama Coco's family was portrayed in a Papel Picado little like story, like comic, right? So that was also a very nice touch into something very Mexican as a decoration. And that brings us a lot of joy. It's always, you put it for decorations when you want to make the place look really bright and beautiful. And the Papel Picado is always very colorful. All right. The town of Santa Cecilia, which is where Miguel lives, that was inspired by a small town in Mexico, located in Santa Fe de la Laguna, Michoacán, which was built in 1533 and known for the thriving Purepecha culture, and people who were also a large inspiration for Coco. Now, the Dia de los Muertos is celebrated in the whole country, in all of Mexico. However, there are certain states that celebrate it in a more traditional and a bigger way, which are Michoacán, Puebla, Oaxaca, Guanajuato, all of the states around the center of Mexico, and now including Mexico City, with its parade. If any of you saw the movie James Bond, Spectre, the movie starts with a Day of the Dead parade. Well, after the movie came out, they decided to actually implement a Day of the Dead parade in Mexico City, which is the capital. And it is a beautiful event that has actually brought as well a lot of knowledge about the tradition and also a lot of tourism to the country. So that is why the town of Santa Cecilia is inspired in one of these states where the festivity is really, really, really strong. I can also say that Mexico is quite big, and in the center and south part of Mexico, it is actually a holiday, a bank holiday and a school holiday. Sorry, someone unmuted and I hear. Okay, so it is actually a bank holiday and a school holiday, but in the north, it is not. So that's a little bit of how the strength and how big the tradition is. However, we celebrate it all across. It is very important for everyone. Okay, now when the movie begins, one of the first things you see is Miguel's abuelita explaining to him or reminding him the importance of the ofrenda. As seen in the Rivera family home, the ofrenda, a beautifully adorned altar in which photos and offering comprised of gifts for the visiting spirits are placed. It is the heart of Dia de Muertos. The ofrenda is the official name for some people call it shrine or altar, but it is actually una ofrenda, which means an offering. All right, and it has many, many elements to it. But there are some that are the most important ones, which are las flores, the flowers. The flowers are called cempasúchil. We will talk about this specific flower a little bit later. But the flowers are very, very important for the altar. And the cempasúchil is the flower that is believed would guide them through. We will talk about it a little bit more, but flowers are very important in the altar. The photographs. Now, this is one of the most important parts of the altar, if not the most important part of the ofrenda, because it is how you look at them. You see your loved ones, you remember their faces, you remember how they looked, and then as part of the other parts of the ofrenda, then it all comes together as one. But the fotografías are very important. And in the movie, we see that Miguel has a big family. So they have many, many fotografías of all the family. And the abuelita goes one by one, explaining like, remember tu tío Julio, y tu tía this one, and this and this. So he has a big family. Now, usually in Mexico, when we put an ofrenda, you can decide if it's your own personal family one, well, you put your family photos. But in schools, for example, growing up, every year in school, you do an ofrenda. It's either one for the whole school or one for the grade or even one per classroom. And you can choose each year to offer it to someone. It can be someone famous that died. It can be somebody's relative. It can be anybody that you want. It can also be a pet, anybody, okay? It is all about remembering and celebrating that loved one on that day. Next very important part is la comida, the food. All right, so the food. In the traditional sense of the ofrenda, we are supposed to cook and prepare the loved one's favorite meal. So let's say if my abuelita loved tacos and Coca-Cola or any specific drink, I would prepare her favorite tacos, put them on a plate, and I would put a glass of her favorite drink. It most probably was tequila, and then you put it there. And you put it there and you leave it there overnight or during the whole day because they are coming to enjoy it. That is the one day of the year where they come and they are able to spend it with us, be with us, and enjoy the things from the land of the living that they don't have anymore in the land of the dead. In the movie, there's a very funny scene, which is this one, where the loved ones already went to visit their ofrenda and they're coming back through like customs, which is very cute. And in customs, they ask them, what do you have to declare? What are you going to bring in? So they have to declare the tamales, the tortillas, the wine, el vino, the bread, everything to come across and enjoy it, right? And have the food. But besides the food of your loved ones, there's another very important piece of this celebration, which is pan dulce mexicano. Now, in the movie, funny enough, they missed one little thing about el pan dulce, but I am here to teach you all about it. So pan dulce mexicano looks something like that. As you can see, Dante is ready to eat that. We have some conchas there. We have some polvorones. So this is pan dulce mexicano, which means Mexican sweet bread. And we have it usually for breakfast, but I think you can eat it at any time of the day. It is delicious. But during the Day of the Dead, Día de Muertos, we eat a specific type of bread that is called pan de muerto, which is the dead bread, or bread of the dead. So, pan de muerto. Pan de muerto it looks like round. You can see in the photo with Miguel and Dante, they're eating they're having their hot chocolate, chocolate caliente, and their pan de muerto. It's round and it has some balls on top, covered with sugar. And it has this very delicious, it's very soft and a little bit orangey taste, tangy orangey taste. It is delicious. It is very, very yummy. And it is only made by bakeries on this holiday. So through all the year, you're waiting for the pan de muerto. It like you see October 30th coming up, and even like a week before usually, but a week before Dia de Muertos, they start selling it. So you're ready to have your bites and pieces of pan de muerto. We are very lucky here in Jakarta as Mexicans because there were a couple of girls that last year, they started practicing and they were able to sell pan de muertos to the community, made in their own home, because we just missed it so much. And it was delicious. And this year, the embassy did a little, I don't know, like a little project with another bakery. And they also were making some pan de muerto. And I tried them all and they were all very, very good and similar. I cannot complain. They were delicious. So yes, this is something that is very traditional to eat. When you go visit ofrendas, let's say you go to, in Mexico, during Dia de los Muertos, there are ofrendas everywhere you go. And usually they come with like some musical performance or some, if it's like in museums or or special plazas, and you have some pan de muertos, some hot chocolate, and it just makes the whole thing like come together as the celebration. All right, next. After Miguel talks about his family and the ofrenda and everything, if you remember the movie, he tries to steal a guitar and then he turns into un muerto, right? And one of the first people, or muertos, the dead person, he bumps into is this lady. Now, this lady is not a character in the movie. However, she is there to represent the Catrina. And who is the Catrina? La Catrina was created by the Mexican cartoonist Jose Guadalupe Posada and was originally called La Calavera Garbancera. This word came from the chickpea sellers who, being poor, appeared to be rich and wanted to hide their indigenous roots. This group of merchants claimed to have the lifestyle of the Europeans. So a Catrina is a lady that is very well dressed and with a very fancy hats and flowers. But it originally comes as like somebody that was just trying to pretend to be rich and pretend to be very fancy and everything. And then, of course, look at the makeup we're wearing. It all comes from there. It eventually comes from the Catrina, the skulls and everything. And that's now part, very important part of Día de Muertos. Cempasúchil. So this is the flower that I was talking about that is very important in the altar. Cempasúchil. In English, the marigold. The marigold flower is the only vegetation that, according to tradition, grows in the land of the dead. For this reason, the flower bridge that connects both worlds once a year is made of this plant. In the movie, we see the Cempasúchil bridge. The Cempasúchil is there to guide them as well in their journey to and from the land of the dead. And in the movie, they make a big bridge where the loved ones are crossing over. But then, what happens? This guy, his name is Hector, and he does not have a photo in the ofrenda. So the flowers are not helping him to cross the bridge. You can see he cannot go. He tries, and then he cannot, so they bring him back in. And that's where Miguel's adventure starts, where he really wants to help him as well, and he meets Hector and the whole thing. So flowers are a very important part of the ofrenda and Día de Muertos. I see in our backgrounds, in some of the backgrounds, there's Cempasúchil. I think it's Henry has Cempasúchil in his hat. I see somebody has the marigolds. So that's really cool. Sí, muy bien. Okay, los alebrijes. In the movie, there are many alebrijes. Los alebrijes are imaginary beings in the shape of various animals, and they're super creepy and colorful, sometimes fantastic, sometimes real. The alebrijes are very present in the film as they populate the world of the dead. The craft is considered as a being as spiritual as it is fantastic, whose mission is to accompany a person since a young age. Now, alebrijes, I really want you to listen to this because alebrijes are not actually related to Día de los Muertos. Alebrijes are independent to Día de los Muertos. The alebrijes were a creation in the 50s by a Mexican artist that had a dream about these mystical creatures that were calling him alebrije, alebrije, alebrije. And he woke up and he was like, what is this that I saw? So he started coloring and drawing and he created alebrijes. After that, then it became part of the culture, some traditions that they would accompany you since you're born. So as soon as you're born, an alebrije, a spirit animal, chooses you and accompanies you all through your life. All through your life. And in the movie, they represent the alebrijes as the spirit animals that each person in the land of the dead has. And some are like, if you remember Pepita, she's like a ram tiger that flies. So the weirder and more fantastic and magical they are, I guess the better. And colorful as well, very colorful. Here we can see some alebrijes from the movie. See, there's like a snake with wings, and then you have Pepita there. And then at the end, Dante gets wings as well. So those are the alebrijes. Dante, let's talk a little bit about Dante. Dante is Miguel's dog, and he belongs to the Xoloitzcuintle breed. This Xoloitzcuintle breed is from Mexico. This animal is considered there as a symbol of death, as it represents the god of the underworld, Xolotl. In the pre-Hispanic culture of the Mexica, it was believed that these dogs help souls cross the river to reach the underworld called Mictlan. Now, fun fact is that in the movie, Dante seems like a street dog because he's like in the street and he doesn't really have an owner. In Mexico, you will never, ever, ever see a Xoloitzcuintle on the streets, ever. It is a very, very important breed and it is very well taken care of. Very, very expensive as well. So Xoloitzcuintles usually have a particular breeder and they are trying to preserve the breed. Most people would argue that it's not the prettiest. It might not be the prettiest, but they are very special. So this is what a Xoloitzcuintle looks like in real life. It has a little toupee. The legend of the Xoloitzcuintle details that they help souls pass the river through the city of death. However, and listen to this, the Xoloitzcuintle dog can refuse to help you if in your life you treated dogs badly. So if during life you were bad or mean to dogs, then when it came time for you to hop on their back and cross the river of death, they would say, no, no, you were mean to my cousin Paco. So I'm not taking you anywhere, right? So be good to dogs. Now, the color of the Xoloitzcuintle. If it's a very, very dark color, it means that it has already been through the river many, many times. It has been submerged on his way to Mictlan. So he's not able to carry more souls anymore. So for purposes of taking you to the land of the death, the Xoloitzcuintle should have a lighter coat, beige, light brown coat. That's the story. El mundo de los muertos. Now the Xoloitzcuintle takes you to the land of the dead and you are there. In this movie, the landscape of the dead, they painted, well, they drew and they did a cartoon of at least 7 million painted lights. In Mexico, when you grow up in Mexico, you really don't imagine the land of the dead. There's nothing there. You just know that they go and they come, but you don't know where they go. There's nothing that tells us how it looks like, or is it pretty, is it big, is it dark? We don't know. So watching the movie and how beautifully colorful they designed and portrayed the land of the dead was very special, because it also made you feel like, yeah, you always know they're in a good place, but you don't imagine it. So this helps you imagine it. And it looks pretty cool. Está muy bonita. So that is the land of the dead in the movie. Now Miguel, as soon as he goes in the land of the dead and meets Hector, then he encounters this lady, Frida Kahlo. Frida Kahlo, which her name was Magdalena Carmen Frida Kahlo y Calderón, was a Mexican painter known for her many, many portraits, self-portraits, and works inspired by nature and artifacts of Mexico. She was very ill most of her life, and most of her paintings represent her feelings and her pain. But she was a very gifted painter and artist. And in Mexico, she is a huge part of our culture. So it was expected that she would kind of be there. And because many shrines, many altars, many ofrendas in Mexico every year are dedicated to her. Chicharron. Ay, Chicharron. I think this is one of the saddest scenes in the movie. So Chicharron is a soul that is being forgotten. And this is, I think, where the message of the movie really is. Chicharron hasn't had his fotografía put in the ofrenda for many years. And your memory, the memory of someone is lost forever once the last living person forgets you or never talked about you to the new generations. So that was the scene with Chicharron. So Chicharron is about to leave. And Hector goes and he's very sweet and he sings him one last song. And that's when Miguel realizes how important it is to continue talking about our loved ones, especially when we met them in life. And if we didn't, then hear it from someone that did. And then you pass it along and pass it along. So in the Chicharron scene, they're singing and then he is forgotten and he disappears forever. So this is a very important message and part of the movie. Después, after the sad part of Chicharron, Miguel still needs to find his great grandpa, Ernesto de la Cruz. Now, Ernesto de la Cruz is the antagonist. Well, not yet, we don't know yet, but he is one of the main characters in the movie. And he is a synthesis of Pedro Infante and Jorge Negrete. The movie clips of Ernesto de la Cruz during the Coco movie are all inspired by their movies in real life and the Mexican era of like cinema, the gold years of cinema. And they kind of look a little bit like them, right? But of course, they had to put them in the movie. So here, Ernesto de la Cruz walks over and says, "Hey, Negrete, Infante, look at me, tataranieto. This is my great-great-grandson. Isn't that so cool?" So they put him there. Negrete e Infante, let me go back. Negrete e Infante are two very important actors and singers of the golden era of cinema in Mexico. And their legacy has just been on and on. I have seen many movies of them. Their songs, they sing beautifully. You can kind of see here on the right, Pedro Infante is wearing a little bit of a mariachi color jacket. So they were very, they influenced a lot of the music and cinema in Mexico. And they made it in the movie. But not just them, a lot more people made it in the movie. There are many famous Mexican celebrities that made a little cameo. During his adventure, the young protagonist, Miguel, meets iconic characters from Mexican culture from the first half of the 20th century, like Frida Kahlo, Mario Moreno Cantinflas, which was a comedian and an actor and an amazing entertainer, Pedro Infante, Jorge Negrete, and of course, the most famous luchador in Mexico, El Santo. El Santo makes an appearance right here with his cape and his silver mask. You could not miss El Santo in the movie. Next to El Santo is what we think is portrayed as Maria Felix, which is another very important part of, another very important actress in Mexican history. So this is one of what people call like Easter eggs of like secret little messages or secret little people there. Here, Miguel and Ernesto de la Cruz are singing alongside all of them. Yes, and this is just a little scene where you can see like, and as a Mexican, you identify them immediately and you get excited. You're like, El Santo, Zapata, and you start screaming. So it is very nice that the creators also put all of these little details in them. Llorona. So after Miguel is trying to find his great grandfather, and then you realize that he's actually not a good hombre, he's kind of a bad hombre. We have this Miguel's great aunt, no, great grandma. She has a scene where she sings La Llorona. One of the most emotional moments of the film is when the character of Mama Imelda sings La Llorona. In Latin American folklore, this character is a spectrum that, according to oral tradition, is represented as the banshee of a woman who lost her children. Without a doubt, the best version is of Chabela Vargas. So please write that down and Google on YouTube or Spotify, Chabela Vargas, La Llorona. It is amazing. So La Llorona is a song about this legend or very story that talks about a woman that lost her children. But then it talks about a man that is singing to her. And just the song is beautiful, and it is also very, it became part of Dia de los Muertos because of what the Llorona represented about being sad and about crying for her children, and about this day when you remember them. You can remember them the whole year, but this day is like when it really, like you really remember them. So then now it has become like a tight knit to see Dia de Muertos, and somebody's gonna sing La Llorona in the background. Okay. So then after Miguel finishes his adventures and he makes his way back to the land of the living, this scene, I'm not crying, you're crying, but really we're all crying in this scene. So in this scene, Miguel realizes that Mama Coco is the last living person that remembered Hector. The guy, remember at the beginning, that couldn't cross the bridge? Well, that's her dad. So Miguel, before she forgets him forever, he comes back and he sings her the song that the dad would always sing. And it goes like this. No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna sing. You got excited for a minute. No, I'm not gonna sing, but everybody knows that song. It is called Recuérdame, and it is beautiful. It has a beautiful message. Every time I hear it, I get goosebumps. It's just beautiful. And this particular scene represents the importance of remembering our loved ones through time, the importance of family, the importance of music and song, and just overall love within the people that are near you. Because Miguel's abuelita was against music, but once Miguel started to sing to Mama Coco started to wake up and started to sing along, and it was just the best scene of the movie, in my opinion. Well, one of the best scenes of the movie. And after that, of course, now everybody can cross the bridge. You can see Hector very happy. He's not drowning in the Marigold. He's going over the bridge. Everything is fine. And now the whole family can go and celebrate and get their yummy food and drinks from the ofrenda and spend the day with their family in the land of the living. At the end of the movie, you see that now the family has accepted Miguel's love for music, and they are all celebrating El Día de los Muertos year after year. And in that last scene, it shows that the relatives or the spirits come and they're amongst them, right? Which is what we believe. We believe that during that day, the spirits come and they just hang around with us. They're just with us. And we talk about them during the whole day. And as I said, we enjoy their favorite food. We cook for them. We eat it ourselves. And we just remember and laugh and think about all the good things and all the good memories that we had with our loved ones when they were with us. And then they come back every year. But remember to put the fotografía. That's very important. And then at the end, Disney couldn't Disney had to do it again and put another Papel Picado to represent the end of the movie. And in a beautiful fireworks, which is also very common, fireworks everywhere, the end of the movie and the end of, well, the full message of family, of acceptance, of music, of love, and of this beautiful tradition. Now, some fun facts about the movie. Ready? Now, the movie has a lot of Easter eggs. In general, Disney is very known for having Easter eggs. Easter eggs are little secret messages inside the movie, in the movie. So let's see some of them. When you see anyone play the guitar in Coco, they are actually playing the correct notes. Even if it's a cartoon with 4 fingers, or well, in this case, they do have 5 fingers. Wherever you see that they're putting their fingers, if you copy it, it will play the correct note. So that must have taken them some time to do it, because this song is very musical and mariachi music has a lot of guitar. So good job on them. Another fun fact is that Ernesto La Cruz was imitated so exactly to a person that even his Adam's apple would move when he sings. You know, men have Adam's apple. Women, we don't have it, but men do. So they try to make it when he would sing the belts, you know, recuérdame, like that. They would put the Adam's apple moving so that it would look more realistic. That's a really fun fact. An amazing thing about the movie is that it actually took 6 years to complete. One of the reasons was, well, they couldn't name it Dia de Muertos, so the lawsuit and everything, that takes time. But they decided to revisit Mexico and different parts of Mexico year after year on the Day of the Dead, or el Dia de los Muertos, so that they would see as much as they could of different locations. So because Dia de los Muertos is technically 2 days a year, pues they had to do it over a good period of time so that they would get más y más information, right? More and more information. Abuelita's neck had some problems. Now in the movie, Abuelita is angry most of the time because Coco, Miguel wants to sing and play music, and the Abuelita says, no, you can't. And then la chancla, you know, the slipper, everything. So the Disney animators really tried to get the neck as perfect to a real person, to see how the veins would pop up when an abuelita gets angry. When she would get very angry, you could see the veins pop up, and they try to make it as similar as a real abuelita, as a real grandma. Corn everywhere. Okay, this is something that as a Mexican, I remember the first time I went to see a movie, I said, elote, elote, elote. We love corn. We love corn. We eat a lot of corn. Corn tortillas, corn on the cob, corn en vasito, in a little cup, corn and then everything is made out of corn, really. Most of our dishes are corn. So in the movie, of course, they didn't let us down. There are many people amongst the audience and like in different scenes where they're just enjoying a piece of corn. And that is very, very Mexican as well. There is actually a joke that says that, so tell me about a traditional Mexican dish. And we're like, well, we have chilaquiles, which is tortilla, salsa, and like cheese, you know, and sour cream. Oh, that's great. Okay. And what other Mexican dish do you have? Oh, we have sopes. Ooh, sopes. And what is that made of? Well, tortilla, salsa, cheese, and sour cream. And oh, okay. What else? Oh, enchiladas. Ooh, enchiladas sounds yummy. What is that made of? Tortilla, salsa, cheese, and you know, sour cream and onion. But they're different. For us, they're all very different, but they have the same ingredients. And tortilla, obviously, it's made out of corn. So corn, yes, we eat corn a lot, and corn flour. So that is another very important Easter egg. So chicos, muchísimas gracias. Thank you so much for your attention. I hope my audio was clear. I hope I wasn't breaking up, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation about the movie and this beautiful tradition that I am very honored and happy to share with all of you. So muchas gracias.
Oh, muchísimas gracias, mi. Qué
Muy bien.
linda. Bravo, bravo.
Gracias.
Almost like we are listening to someone who actually wrote the movie, you know, because
Oh,
there's
I've seen it. I went to the
There's
cinema
some-
5 times. I've seen it 20 times. I love it.
but
Me
one thing is
encanta. Muchas
missing, though.
gracias.
I think one thing is missing.
Yeah,
You-
tell me.
You're singing.
Ay, no.
Canta, canta.
Oh, look, we have a lot of messages in the chat. What's
Yes,
going
they
on?
all want you to sing.
No. Oh, sing it, sing it. I'm looking at it now.
All right, so
Oh,
very interesting, right? I mean, if you guys have any questions, you can ask Lulu straight away or from the chat. Oh, see, someone still asks you to sing. So
I'm seeing that. Oh no, don't put me on the spot. Don't put me on the spot, por favor.
okay, maybe next time you can do a recording and then send it
Yeah,
then
yes.
viral. Okay, with the makeup and everything.
Yes,
So,
yes.
anyone, any questions for Lulu?
Please.
Go through the quiz, maybe.
Yes. Should we go to the quiz right away or answer some questions first?
I'm going to check the YouTube because we also live on YouTube. So if there's any questions over there, but
Sure.
I don't think, not right now,
Sing-
because
sing
it's
with
very
us.
clear. The explanation is so wonderful and so
Oh, thank you.
expensive. I think someone commented that now that we know all the details, the film feels very different. I think we all want to see the film once again after knowing all these facts, right?
Yes.
All
Oh,
right.
I see a question.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
questions.
Yes, there is a question from Leonardo. What is Mictlan? I don't know how to read that. What is
Very good, Mictlan.
Well, explain about the Miguel's dog.
See. So Mictlan is the underworld in Aztec mythology, which would be sort of like the land of the dead. Dog that I was explaining, the Choloitzcuintle, the breed of that dog, was believed to help you. You would go on the dog's back and he would carry you through the river down to the Mictlan, which is the underworld or the land of the dead. This is an Aztec mythology. Yeah. So we just can call it the land of the dead, Mictlan. Yes.
All right. So next question, how many days do you celebrate Dia de Muertos in Mexico?
Oh, well, that's a great question. Recently, it's been more and more, it gets longer because it has become more popular, of course, since the movie came out. It has just been a worldwide thing and all eyes are on this celebration and on Mexico. So originally it is 2 days. The November 1st is when the kids' souls, all the children's souls and spirits visit. And on the 2nd, all the adults visit. So most people would say it's the 2nd of November, the main day. But the kids come on the 1st and everybody comes on the 2nd. And then, so technically it's 2 days. However, the festivities, sometimes there are, parades and like shows and stuff. It can start about 5 days before, maybe from the 29th to the 2nd. Maybe it would last about 5 days, but it really depends on each place. For example, here in Jakarta, the Mexican embassy did a show, did an ofrenda, and it was presented from the 29th to the 3rd, exactly. So it was inaugurated on the 29th, and taken down on the 3rd. So that's about 5 days. Yeah, so that is the answer to your question. November 1 y 2, 1 and 2.
All right. Next question, I think you're gonna love this one, Lulu. Is Dia de Muertos a Mexican version of Halloween?
No.
No, claro que no.
No. Halloween. Oh, I don't know, but Halloween comes from Hallows Eve, and it's this like scary. I don't know really where it comes from, but Halloween is the trick or treat, you know, getting dressed up and going around asking for candy and getting in costume. So it is not. It is just actually very, I want to say, fun fact, or very just, I don't know why, that it's in the same weekend or in the same period of days, because it has nothing to do one with the other. Dia de los Muertos has existed for a long time, and Halloween is just a day where you go and dress up and ask for candy. So no, they are not together, not at all. And in Mexico, Mexico is very big. Halloween, it is celebrated, but because we're so close to Estados Unidos, to the US. So in the north states, it's more common that you celebrate Halloween on the 31st, but you still celebrate Dia de los Muertos on the 1st and 2nd. So you have like a really long 3-day celebration. So you have your candies on the 31st for Halloween, if you celebrate it. And then you have your pan de muerto and chocolate caliente for Dia de Muertos. So yes, no, the answer would be no. It has nothing to do one with the other. Completely separate things.
Perfect. Next question. So as far as you're concerned, are Muslim people in Mexico also celebrating Dia de Muertos?
That is a very good question. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't really know, but because I have not actually, well, it's not about so much as celebrating it because you're there. It's about actually making your own ofrenda. It depends, like if everybody's welcome to do it. For example, this year I made my ofrenda with friends from England because they saw the movie and they wanted to put the photos of their family members. So we did it together. And it is just about if you want to be part of the culture and put the ofrenda, be a part of the tradition and put the ofrenda, because it is not a religious celebration. It has nothing to do with religion, even in Mexico. This is more of like a spirit thing, and it's a little bit separated from any religion. Mexico is majority Catholic or Christian Catholic, but it is completely separated. So as far as I'm concerned, I wouldn't know, but I invite you to, at least if you are in Mexico as a Muslim, you can enjoy the parade, you can enjoy the pan de muerto and the chocolate and like all the really yummy things about it, of course.
Okay. Next question is, was Coco inspired by Mexican mythology or from Day of the Souls? I think Day of the Saints of the Catholic faith.
Yeah, so technically it's Day of All Saints. So in many other countries and cultures, they also have Day of All Saints on the same day, on November 2nd. So Coco was inspired by the traditional celebration of Dia de los Muertos, or Dia de Muertos. But it might, okay, now that you mention it, it might be related to Dia of All Saints, but the way it has been transformed into the ofrenda and all the meanings and everything, that's where it like separates a little bit. Because I know other countries have the Day of All Saints where they go to their service or they do their prayers and everything. But I think this movie was just inspired by the tradition itself without putting any religious thing there. And it was inspired by a very traditional Mexican family, environment, because it is very, very similar. The way they act, the way they talk amongst the family, it is very, very similar to all the families.
Right, cool. Next one, what is the prohibition during Dia de Muertos? Is there where or we can eat?
Nope, and not that I know of. I mean, obviously, you're not supposed to take anything from the ofrenda. I mean, even if the tacos or the mole looks delicious, just don't eat it. It's not for you.
Good to know. Good to know.
Don't eat it. It's not for you. So I guess the rules would be just don't take anything from the ofrendas because they might look very yummy. Honestly, I've walked through some where I've been to some where they have the sugar skulls and this beautiful bread and the water and the drinks and some like really nice bottles of drinks and tequila and all of it. And you're like, ooh, I could have some, but don't do it. It's not for you. It's for your loved ones that are coming to visit. And about wearing any outfits as a prohibition? No. I mean, you dress according to the event. I mean, you're not going to show up in like I don't know, a bikini or something to the ofrenda. I guess you just wear what you would wear to an event. Mm-hmm.
Ray asked, how do you yourself celebrate Dia de Muertos?
Oh, since I've been living outside of Mexico, the way I celebrate Dia de Muertos is by putting my little ofrenda. It's very mini, chiquita. So I have some things from Mexico and I have photographs of my abuelitos. So especially this year, I had one other abuelito that is already having some fun in the land of the dead. So I put the photos of all of my abuelitos, and this is how I celebrate. I put my ofrenda, I talk about them. You sit down, and as you're putting the ofrenda together, and you put the candles and you put the food and you put the pan de muerto, you just talk about them. You just talk about like everything that was good about them and what you miss about them and just memories. And then you eat pan de muerto and chocolate caliente, which I did this year. And I'm very happy that I had the chance to have a little bit of pan de muerto and some hot chocolate.
All right. Next question. Fadila said, I've heard that Mama Coco was inspired by a real person. Is that true?
I can't hear you very well. Is it me? Wait.
Oh, can you hear me now?
It's like very low. I don't know
why.
Mama Coco inspired by a real
Yes.
person. Oh, I see it. I think, yes. So as I said, the name comes from, one of the stories is that the name comes from Socorro. So yes, so when the Disney writers would go every year to Mexico, they would see a lot of abuelitas, with their traditional homes, preparing for the day, Dia de los Muertos. So yes, it is actually, I don't think it is just inspired by one person, but I think it is inspired on how most abuelitas, grandmas look. And because Mama Coco's dress, oh, it's so traditional and beautiful. Mama Coco's dress, even the abuelita's apron, like everything is very, very Mexican abuelita and outfits, like wardrobe. So yeah, I don't think it was inspired on one person, but I think it was a union of a lot of them, and they just figured that they all kind of had the same maybe vibe, or they look a little bit alike.
Cool. What is your favorite food during Dia de Muertos?
Pan de muertos. Oh, sí, pan de muertos, sí. Well, because there's no other traditional food for that day. You cook what your loved ones liked. So it can be anything. But pan de muerto is just very special. It's just very special on that day. So yeah, and because they only make it once a year, so you have to make the most of it and have more.
And how do you know or choose your alebrije?
Your alebrije chooses you.
Ah.
You do not choose your alebrije. Yeah, your alebrije chooses you. Yes. You're muted, Primarita.
Oh, sorry. Is there any significance or meaning to the Dia de Muertos makeup that everybody wears?
Yeah, so what I was mentioning is about the Catrina, the Catrina was this original painting that was representing a poor woman from low income, but that was pretending to be like very fancy with a big hat and like a very beautiful dress. And then it evolved also because of the skull, you know, so skulls, that the skulls are very representative of Dia de Muertos. And so that is really much just skull when you die, like it's still there, the skull, the Katrina, it all like combined together. And then it became just popular culture to just make it like really colorful and beautiful. And now you have Katrin and Katrina.
Awesome. So Pamela on YouTube also sent a question. She was asking, so if Dia de Muertos and Halloween are different, so do children in Mexico celebrate Halloween? Like do trick or treats and eating candy and all that? Or
it depends. It depends on the state. It depends on the community. It depends on the parents. It depends on a lot of things. It depends on how exposed to, I guess, American culture they are or not. I would know for sure. North States, we do celebrate it. I grew up going trick-or-treating every year through all the houses. But I know that my friends in Oaxaca, Michoacan, Mexico City, they didn't really do anything. It's because in those states, Dia de Muertos is already starting. So it depends on the, I guess, the zone of the part of Mexico. And also I think it depends on just how they grew up and how many little things. So they can or cannot. It is not frowned upon to celebrate Halloween. I think it's just every family can choose or not just to do it. Yeah.
So do you think celebrate Dia de Muertos celebration, is it a sad celebration or a happy celebration?
So I saw that question. Do you feel sad? I want to say it's just an emotional day. It is very emotional. But at the end of the day, it is joyful because you know they're in a good place and that you know that they're with you that day and you're with them in a way. So you're together again. So, and the ofrendas are colorful and they're full of life. They're not dark or like scary or anything. They're usually light and there's music and there's dance and there's just you try to think of the good times. It can be sad, but I would say it's emotional. Yes, emotional for sure.
All right, there are two more questions. Is the Muertos festival held in every parts of Mexico or just in the capital city?
In every part of Mexico. However, the big parade is in Mexico City. The big parade that they're starting to now broadcast worldwide is in Mexico City. But it is everywhere, in every household. I mean, of course, there are some people that won't do it, but most, like in schools, I said, growing up in primary school or in middle school or high school, there's always competitions for ofrendas. So you would always get together and try to make the prettiest one, the biggest one, the most creative one. So yes, it is a celebration nationwide. However, there are families that choose to not do it. There's families that go to the graveyard every year. There are families that just do the ofrenda in their house. Yeah, so it's about everybody can celebrate in a different way. There's not like a strict rule. As long as you have the ofrenda with the main, the most important things, you know, the candle, the water, the pan, the photos, the flowers, it's good. And it can be small or it can be very big. The thought that counts.
Right. Last question. So has the celebration Dia de los Muertos developed over time or changed over time?
Yes, I do believe that it has changed over time since it became more international. For example, the parade, that was not happening years before the James Bond movie. There was no big parade in Mexico City for Dia de Muertos. So it has changed, but I think for better. It also has made a lot of Mexicans more proud or more like, it feels nice that so many people are interested in one of our traditions. So it has also been, I think, for the outside Mexico, inside looking out, it's like, wow, okay, come everybody, learn. Very happy to show you what it is and what we do. So yes, it has changed a little bit. And this is an excellent question. Are kids frightened by the makeup or the costumes? Oh, it's such a good question. No, because we are exposed to it since we're very young. And there is one little thing very important for Dia de Muertos, and they are the sugar skulls. They're little skulls made out of sugar. They taste delicious, but they're just sugar. So you get a sugar rush. Those are also very important part to make the kids see the sweet side of Dia de Muertos, not as a scary thing, but as a sweet side of, it can be sweet as a sugar skull. And we grow up, since we're very young, we grow up watching Catrinas, we grow up watching, the different paintings and the skulls. So it is not scary. I'm pretty sure some kids might be scared, but in a general sense, it is not frightening because it's not supposed to be scary, like, boo. No, it's not like that. It's about just celebrating our loved ones.
Okay, perfect. I hope Lulu has answered all questions. I think it's time for us to move on to the quiz.
Yes.
So now
Yes,
it's
yes.
turn to ask some questions.
Oh yeah, it's my turn to ask some questions.
Right.
All right, everyone. I'm gonna share my screen again, but just as a quick note, it does not offend Mexicans if people dress as Catrinas or anything. Not at all. Not at all. That there's no problem. Not at all. Everybody's welcome to be part of it and try it out and everything. Especially in the recent years, for Halloween, everybody wants to be Catrina. Okay, listos, chicos. Are you ready for a quiz? Let's see if you really paid attention, okay? Now, este quiz de Dia de Muertos will go like this. Example, we will see the question. What is the name of the main character of Coco? This is an example, don't answer. And we have A, Diego, B, Héctor, C, Miguel, y D, Héctor again. Sorry, that was the typo. Okay, so you will write the correct answer. So you will write in the chat the number of the question and the answer as C. Okay? 0C or 1D or 3A. All right? And we have our expert judge and eyes on the chat that's going to help us see who is the fastest fingers in the West, in the East. All right. Here we go. Everybody ready? Now, don't raise your hands because I'm not going to, it's in the chat. Listos. Okay, let's start. Una. Perfecto. Oh, you did some tests. Okay, muy bien. Okay, primera pregunta. Okay, well, then this is the answer. It is Miguel. ¿Preparados? ¿Listos? Go. What is the name of the traditional Mexican band? Rancheras, mariachi, chichiachi, o boleros? Wow. Excelente. Ooh, you guys paid attention. Okay. Do you need some time or do I just go continue?
Henry,
Continue. Okay, continue. Mariachi is the answer. Muy bien, 1B. Excelente. Mariachi. Siguiente. Next one. When is Dia de los Muertos celebrated? December, November, September, o mayo en español. When? Na-na-na-na-na. November, of course. Claro que sí. Muy bien. Es November. Excelente. 1 y 2 de noviembre. Okay. Next. Siguiente. What is cempasúchil? Is it a drink, music, a flower, or food? Oh, cempasúchil is delicious. Nah. 3. What is cempasúchil? What is cempasúchil? It is a flower. Es una flor. La flor cempasúchil marigold. Muy bien. Okay, siguiente. Next. Which one of these is pan de muerto? I explained, I said how it looked like, and it has a little something on top, and muy bien. Excelente is this one with the little balls on top. Muy bien. So, fun fact, well, the B is a croissant, pero the C is pan dulce mexicano called a concha, which is also delicious. And D is rosca de reyes, which is another bread that is only available once a year in another celebration. Muy bien, pan de muerto, yummy. Next. What's her name? Karina, Carolina, Katrina, o la muerte. Excelente es Katrina. Muy bien, Katrina, Katrina, Katrina. Muy bien. Siguiente. Who is Cholo Escuintle? Who is the Cholo Escuintle? A, B, C, o D. ¿Cuál es? Which one is it? Which one is it? Which one is it? Ah, ese es el Cholo Escuintle. Muy bien. Excelente. Siguiente. What was Frida Kahlo's profession? Musician, painter, ceramist, or singer? What was it? What was it? Era una painter. Very good. Mexican painter. Excelente. Okay, chicos. Siguiente. Next. What does llorona mean? Crybaby, screaming, singing, or angry? What does llorona mean? This is going to be a good one. I hope you get it right. What does llorona mean? It is crybaby. It is a word for crybaby, like someone that goes, ah. So when you're young, if you cry a lot, ay, qué llorona. They call you llorona. All right. And then this is a very cute part that says, como el pino era tierno, llorona, al verme llorar, lloraba. So she's crying, and when she saw me crying, she cried more. So everybody's crying a lot. Muy bien. Okay, chicos, ready? What is the official name for the altar? Altar, decoraciones, monumento u ofrenda. Yeah. Esto. Muy bien. Okay. Excelente. Y la última. Last question, chicos. Are you ready? Oh, well, this is the answer. Ofrenda, of course. With the candles and the drinks and the music, you know, the albums in the back, the food, the photos. Okay. What other movie talks about Día de los Muertos? This might be tricky. Toy Story, Luca, Over the Moon, or Book of Life? Wow, which one? See, ladies and gentlemen, is the Book of Life. Very good, muy bien. The Book of Life also talks about Día de Muertos. Excelente, muy bien, muchas gracias. Gracias, gracias, gracias.
Perfecto.
Now let's see if
So I'm very happy that everyone actually paid attention to the presentation and they know all the correct answers. Amazing. Okay, can anyone hear me?
can't hear you. Is it just me?
I'm just, can you hear me now?
Sí.
No?
Sí, ya, sorry, lo siento.
No, it's okay. I'm just saying that I'm happy that everyone paid attention to the presentation because they got all the answers correct. Bravo, bravo. All right, so
Bravísimo.
or do you have winner?
Hello.
See?
We have Fadila Mutiarahmi with 4 points.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Yeah. Felicidades, Fadila.
Fantastic.
Fantástico.
Excelente, Fabila. Gracias.
Felicidades.
Thank you for listening.
All right, so congratulations, Fadila, and we're not over yet because we still have the moment that we've been waiting for, which is the best camera face. So everyone who has prepared the makeup, the costume, and the backgrounds and everything, we are going to look at you one by one. So Lulu will look at you one by one. So do your best pose and hold it for maybe, I don't know, how much time do you need, Lulu?
Oh, just, I don't know, 30 seconds or something. Let's see. Let's see.
Let's see, everyone.
Okay, if you, turn your cameras on so I can see. Okay, I see some of you. Very good.
Please don't pick Yoshi or Henry or...
No, I know. I know. I see. Oh, yeah, we're doing. Okay.
Pick me.
Okay. Okay, we have to. Oh, this one's difficult. Oh, you look so great. Okay. I'm gonna have to go with. Wait, get closer. Okay, I'm gonna go with Deonita Jurjo.
Deonita?
Deonita, yes.
Yes. Bravo.
Bravo, Deonita.
Muchas gracias, Lulu.
Yeah.
Do you do the makeup by yourself?
Yeah, I have to do it by
Nice.
myself.
Excellent.
Well done. Yeah.
So you can DM us on Instagram and then we'll send the gift to you.
Okay. Muchas gracias.
Also, thank you for the others who have put on
Yes,
colorful.
definitely. You all look great. Thank you for doing your makeup with us. Like for us, you all look really, really good. Muchas gracias.
All right. So, okay, can I share my screen one more time, just a little bit? Okay, let's see. I'm going to share one last chance for everyone to win our limited edition goodie bag. Yes, so we are still looking for one more winner for best Insta story. If you haven't posted anything tonight, you have 24 hours from now to do so. And don't forget to mention us, Dime Porqué, at dime.por.k. And you, please also mention Nebriha. You don't have to mention all three of them. You can choose based on your location. And don't forget to use the hashtag Dia de Muertos 21. All right. So if you get all this information, okay, cool. So we'll be waiting for your fun Insta stories, and we'll announce one maybe on Tuesday or Wednesday. All right. Okay. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for coming. I think the last take a photo.
Muchas gracias. Fantástico.
Gracias.
Yes, let's take a photo together.
Yes.
Who is going to take the photo? I can take the photo. All right. Okay, everyone ready? All right. Uno, dos, tres. I don't know, should we smile with this?
Oh yeah, true.
Sí,
Should
por
we
supuesto,
look,
por supuesto.
or should we look scary? All right, wait, I'm gonna get the second page. Hold on. Just hold your smile. Okay, what do we say? Pan or Sempasicil?
That's a good one.
I wanna say the dog, but it's so difficult. I can.
Cholo, it's Quintle.
All right, let's try one more.
Cholo, you can say cholo.
Cholo, okay, cholo, yeah.
Cholo.
Cholo, cholo.
Cholo.
Perfecto. All right. Gracias a todos, especially our professor Lulu and Alfonso.
Yes.
For the presentation. I hope everyone had fun. Enjoyed the show, of course. We should do this again next year, of course, Lulu.
Claro que sí. Sí.
All right. See you next time. Adiós.
Gracias a todos. Adiós.
Muchísimas gracias.
Adiós, adiós.
Hasta luego. Nos vemos.